Hi, Esties. We are
Hi.
back. Yes, we're here on Esthetician Edit, and today we have Jill Vasquez. So, Jill Vasquez is a passionate esthetician with over 20 years of experience in the beauty industry. She's also an educator, and she's the co-founder of Luna Beauty Studio. Her specialty is face massage, and she actually teaches estheticians how to do face massage, which kind of brings us to our topic today, which we're going to talk about how to elevate your facial experience and how to go from just like a good facial to a memorable facial. So, if you don't mind introducing yourself.
Yeah, hi, Esty Besties. I'm Jill. Been a licensed esthetician for 23 years. I feel like I'm an OG Esty. It's crazy to just think of how long I've been in the game. But I love it. I love this field. I'm very passionate about it. And in the experience I've gained, I'm so excited to give back to the SD community and just give my tips and insights, all my expertise, advice. So I'm excited.
Do you mind sharing a little bit about like your journey becoming an esthetician in the beginning? I don't know why I always like to ask that question, like how
Yeah,
you became an esthetician and then
yeah,
your journey over the years. How did you get to where you're at right now?
yeah, for sure. So, man, like 20 plus years ago, the aesthetics field, I had no idea what that was. And when I graduated high school, I was kind of like, well, I do love all things beauty. I was really into makeup, and there really wasn't a dedicated makeup school in my area then. So then I started kind of researching around, and I found an aesthetic school. I talked to them and they were like, hey, we offer an aesthetics program, but you're also going to learn makeup. And I was like, oh, that sounds pretty exciting. That sounds cool.
Mhm.
So I remember getting my first facial my very first day at school, and I was like blown away. I was like, this is amazing. This is awesome. I just loved how it felt so good. I was so relaxed and how wonderful it made my skin feel. And I just fell in love with it. And this field it's tough starting out.
Mhm.
There's been plenty of times where I've wanted to quit if I was slower in the beginning, but I didn't want to be one of those SDs who's like a salon hopper who thinks it's like better and better anywhere you go, because it's really like you got to sell yourself, you got to focus on your education and just keep getting better. So I just kept getting better, and I was like, how can I make myself better? How can I make a facial way more awesome so I could stand out in this field?
Mhm.
So
And how has like the industry changed from like when you first started to where you see it now?
man, it has
Like from your
evolved.
perspective.
Yeah, it's evolved so much. I feel like when I first started out, it was more of a luxury type service.
Mhm.
And it's evolved so like fascinating. Like it's not so much like pampering anymore. It's really self-care. And it's just pretty crazy how the treatments evolved. I remember when I first started out, like microderm was a huge thing. It was like, oh my God, you got to get microderm. And I feel like now microderm's like almost a thing of the past. So you have to adapt to all the evolving changes in this industry. So, and
Mhm.
I would get feedback from clients like, your massage is awesome. This is so good. This feels so good. You make us feel so good. And I kind of took that and ran with it and really have evolved in my facial massage. So now I'll perform like a 20 to 30-minute facial massage depending on
Uh-huh.
what my clients want. And to see that those results from the power of my hands, it's really amazing. I love it.
And how were you able to learn face massage?
So, first starting out with the basics in aesthetic school, and then the more I would go and the more I got experience, I would read the trade magazines.
Mhm.
I would get a bunch of insights on that, and then I would try to get facials as much as I could from different spas, different areas, or when I went on vacation. And if I could take one thing from there and add it to what I'm already doing, that really helped me evolve. And I mean, the power of like YouTube and social media now, it's so
Mhm.
easy to watch a video of wonderful estheticians who are, you know, giving us all these insights and their expertise. And that's kind of how I evolved into that. And I've taken numerous classes, so many classes, attending trade shows. The trade shows are awesome. With your ticket, you get a lot of those advanced education classes. So I say, trade shows are key to learning and evolving.
Hmm. I saw you work actually with Circadia and I believe cosmetics and face reality. Like,
Yeah.
what would you say about like their education?
Yeah, so their cosmetics they're really awesome. Their rep is awesome. They're
Hmm.
always letting us know on different education, like on peels and different things. Circadia is awesome. Face Reality really helped us change the game for our acne clients. I mean, we see a
Hmm.
high success rate. Their course is really awesome and informative. I really love how they do that, where you buy into the product and then you get the whole course with it. So you could really
Hmm.
understand the science of their ingredients and really how to help and transform the skin for acne clients.
Hmm. And Circadia, do you use Circadia as well?
Yeah, we use Circadia. I love to dabble into a bunch of different things. I
Hmm.
never want to stay stagnant. But those brands are really our core brands. We also offered Be Blessed, which is
Hmm.
really awesome brand. She's a local esthetician, 20 plus years experience, and her products are really good ingredients. And so we recently added her, and we've been seeing really great results with that too.
And so Luna Beauty Studio, when did that come to be?
So we've been in business like 3.5 years, and
Oh,
it's so
wow.
crazy
Congrats.
how it has evolved. Yeah, it's
Mhm.
like crazy taking that leap, right? It was scary, and it's a lot of work, but it's really rewarding and really awesome to see how my business partners and myself have really evolved it from a small team of 5 of us to now almost 20 employees. It's really cool to see
Wow.
their talent and how they've grown.
Okay, so I'm assuming like just looking at like your staff and stuff, like are do you have like a mixture of experience, like estheticians that are first out of school? Like how does your training work with your staff and like what, do you look for when you're hiring someone?
Yeah, so when we first hire, we go through a blend of questions through email to make sure they're even serious. And then if they're
Mhm.
serious, then we'll move on to an in-person interview. And if we feel like they're resonating with us, we'll hire them on. And then they do have like a whole guideline of their training. So I train them through waxing, lash lifts, lash tinting, brow laminations, and all of our facials. So most of
Wow.
the time I'll give them a facial so they could feel how I do it and see how I do my facial so that way it could, be installed in their brain of, okay, this is how
Mhm.
they do it here. And then we just go over different facials, different techniques, different massage techniques, and if I feel like they need more work on something, then I'll spend a little extra time with them on that instead of just throwing them through to the wolves.
Mhm. Yeah, I love how you say, like, even yourself, like, how you in the past, like, the way that you learn is through receiving facials because before
Yeah.
I even became an esthetician, like, we would do these, visits to estheticians to kinda, like, invite them to the show, network, things like that, and so I would
Yeah.
get facials all the time, and it's just, like, you do pick up on so many different things, like, that
Yes.
some estheticians do, some estheticians don't do, and I actually got a facial yesterday, and I was like, because I just opened my own suite, and I was like, "Oh my god,"
Awesome.
like, I need to, like, because you get inspired also, and you're like I'm like,
Yes.
"Okay, I'm gonna pick this up from this facial," right? So,
Yes.
like, there are a few things that, like, I noticed that I don't like because you can also, when you're receiving facial, be like, "Okay, I'm not ever doing this."
Oh,
Like, for
oh,
example, like,
absolutely.
I've gotten a facial where, like, they leave the room, or, like, they put a mask on, but then they don't, like, give you a hand
Yes.
massage or neck
And I was going to
massage.
mention that too.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, like you just said, even like going and getting facials, you're learning what you don't want to do. And I've had facials
Mhm.
before where I went to someone and they didn't give me a consultation. They didn't talk to me. They didn't look at my skin. And I'm over here thinking, oh my God, you have to know, what am I allergic to? If I'm allergic to anything, what products am I on?
Mhm.
Am I on under something from a dermatologist, that's gonna not
Mhm.
go well with what they're doing, and different things like that. And leaving the room too. I've had some clients tell me like they've gone somewhere else and the esthetician will put the mask on, leave the room, go smoke, and their fingers are reeking. And it's like, that's not elevating the
Oh my
experience,
god.
right? Yes. And I'm like, what? An SD smoking? Like, that's terrible. Like, I mean,
That's
whatever, do your own thing, but like, you want them to have that memorable experience, and that's what they're going to remember. Then they're not going to come
mhm.
back because they want that nice experience, relaxing experience. So, yeah.
Yeah, and I think you have to think of it like their eyes are closed, so it's like a sensory experience, so all of their senses, like their smell, their
Yeah.
hearing, the touch is
Yep.
all heightened, so you can't see.
Yes.
So they're
Yes.
really gonna be hyper-focused on, like, the details, and so, like,
Yes.
having hands that smell like cigarettes, like, that's disgusting. They don't they probably prefer to smell
Yeah.
like some essential oil. They're gonna pick on up on that
Yes.
way more than they would if they were just in a room talking to you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
that's insane,
Yeah, I
actually.
know. Like the things I've heard, I'm like, oh my goodness, no.
What are some, like, so, like, I kinda wanna go, like, what are some do's and don'ts you think that create either a bad facial in your perspective and a good facial? So, like, let's start with, like, the don'ts. I know you mentioned, like, skipping out on the consultation, like, is there anything else?
Um, to play off, yeah. So skipping out on the consultation, you have to do that because you have to know what your client is using, what their concerns are. They want to feel heard, and they
Mhm,
want you to address. They're coming to you for a reason. They're coming to you to help their skin out or to even just feel good. A lot of clients they're so stressed out these days. They're working long hours and they come to you for even, okay, so skincare needs, but also maybe a moment of pause and relaxation. So you want to know kind of their lifestyle, what they got going on, and you don't ever want to skip on the consult because what if they're allergic to something? You cause an allergic reaction. They're never going to come
yeah,
back to you. So that's important. It's important also to tailor the treatments to their needs. Maybe they're down for a
mhm,
certain facial and they don't know any better, and that's okay because that's why they're there, but maybe they're addressing to you something that they don't want, and maybe that's in that facial you have. So you have to be open and honest, clear communication, and they're going to, take that and see it as, okay, she really cares, and she really cares about what I want and my concerns.
mhm,
Um Don'ts, I would say I've had a facial where I had like some skin trauma from really intense extractions, being mindful with that.
mhm,
Don't leave the room. I have my hands on my clients at all times. I don't leave the room. I apply a mask. I'm going down to their feet. I'm doing a foot scrub. I'm doing a foot massage, leg massage, putting warm booties on, coming back up.
mhm,
The ending mask, I'm doing hand and arm massage, scalp massage. You got to think of these little things, and even to like elevate it even more. Maybe you're doing a scalp massage with jade combs. Put them in the warmer. Let that be a
mhm,
nice, different sensory experience. Just really going above and beyond, so it's a
mhm.
memorable experience.
What do you think that, like, clients are looking for, when they book a facial, like, beyond just skincare results? Like, I know you mentioned relaxation, things like that.
Yeah,
I mean, maybe it could be also that they're not looking for much. Sometimes people are coming for their first facial, or they've gotten other facials, but it's like you're the one, like, you're the facialist. It's gonna kinda show them how they should be treated. Like, when you have
yeah,
a boyfriend that treats you well after, like, dating trash
yeah,
men, then all of a sudden you're like,
right,
"Oh, this is what I deserve." So, like, what little
yeah.
tips you can give to go above and beyond in your facial?
Yeah, I think, and like I said before, they maybe just
Mhm,
be looking for a chance to recharge, have a space of relaxation because they're going and going, and they want to just truly feel cared for. And it just goes back again to just really listening to them. They want to feel heard and cared for.
Mhm.
Doing little touches, like for instance, for us at Luna, we do a foot bath. We do a foot soak where they come in, they get the comfy robe, comfy facial gown, go in their foot bath. We're going to elevate it even more. We have a massage chair where they could do a little massage on there. And
Mhm.
it just almost sets the tone for the facial and gets them in that mode of relaxation, offering different beverages like a herbal tea, maybe a glass of wine. We do
Mhm.
really cool. We do a sleepy time facial. So it's called Sweet Dreams Facial. They get sleepy time tea. They get a guided meditation, doing an eye mask, just taking
I
these little
love that.
steps to go above and beyond.
That's amazing, and I think it gives also estheticians the opportunity to be creative. Like, I
Yes.
remember which I might add it to the menu, but I had the idea of doing once, like, a pampered princess treatment, because
Yeah.
that was kind of, like, trending, like, trending thing on YouTube, pampered princess, for a while, and I
Okay.
wanted to do something where it's like you're literally getting the ultimate pampering, like, you bring out all the
Yeah.
works. So I
All the works.
love that sleepy time
Yeah.
facial because it's kinda like some people want, like, more of an express facial or some people,
Sure.
they like to talk more, which I kinda wanted to ask you, like, in your spa, how I mean, do you have clients that talk? I don't know because
I do.
I just opened my spa, and it's called Serenity Skin by Sam, and I'm getting so many yappers. I'm like, I mean, I don't mind talking, but I didn't expect it, and so I'm like, how do you set the standard from the
Yeah.
beginning that this is gonna be like a relaxing facial?
So, I mean, and some people can't turn off their brains, right? And
Mhm,
and that's just kind of how it is. But I feel like I don't talk unless they ask me a question. If they ask me a question, then I'm talking, but I'm doing it in a really low voice,
mm,
low relaxing voice, and I don't ask any questions. I'll answer what they have to ask me and then try to really set the tone that way. But again, some people just can't turn it off. Or, another good thing to do is, which I do with every facial before I start, I do some guided breathing treatments. So I'll do a little
mhm,
aromatherapy, mainly lavender. I'll hover it above their face, their nose, and I will have them do some deep breaths in with me to help them kind of, okay, let's calm down, let's relax. I know their minds are
mhm,
racing sometimes, and especially if it's their first one, they don't know what to expect. And sometimes people, that may even be their out, maybe they're a busy mom and they don't get a lot of interaction with adults. This may be, what they are craving. But,
mhm,
just trying to be very mindful of just like being soothing so they know it's okay, it's time to
mhm.
relax.
Yeah, not saying, like, maybe I maybe when they come in, I'm a little bit too bubbly. It's my personality, but, I
Yeah,
mean,
that's
it kind of
okay.
yeah, as you were speaking, it was kinda making me think, like, how the esthetician or the practitioner should really practice, like, grounding themselves and, like, getting into that atmosphere. I did
Yeah.
get Reiki by someone, like, the first time I ever got Reiki, when I
Yeah.
walked in, just the way he spoke to me, I was like, "Oh my god, like, you seem like you're in a meditation
Yeah.
right now." Yeah, so
Yes. Yes.
how are you able to do that as, like, a practitioner? Like, do you have any tips as far as, like, kinda like, grounding yourself and just making sure that, like, even if you're having a hectic day and or are experiencing, like, stress outside of work, like, how do you not let that affect
Yeah.
your
Yeah.
practice?
And I mean, I'll be real,
Mhm,
opening a business and being very much in the treatment room, it's a lot. And, there's maybe things that are happening on the other side, and you're like, oh my
mhm,
God. And your mind is like, but you have a facial and you have to like really separate that. It's hard, but I think just taking a few minutes, even doing some aromatherapy yourself, closing
mhm,
your eyes, maybe even 5-10 minutes before you have your client, and just like taking some deep breaths,
mhm.
saying some nice affirmations to yourself, like everything's going to be okay, I'll address this later. You really want to focus on your client, and it's hard to do, but I think just taking
Yeah.
those few moments to yourself and taking some really good deep breaths in really helps. Something as simple as that.
Mhm. Mhm. I love that.
Yeah.
So, I guess this is also, like, a question for first-year estheticians. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm a first-year esthetician, so I'm
I'm
the one
so
asking the
excited for you.
question.
It's awesome.
Thank you. What was the question I was gonna ask? Oh, like, how do you deal with, like, self-doubt in the beginning as far as, like, when you're doing the facial, like, maybe you'd be like, oh, like, the way I'm massaging isn't that great," or, like, you know what I'm talking about? Like, as you're transitioning and or maybe, like, you drop something and you're like, "Oh, that's not relaxing." Like, how
Yeah.
how do you how have you dealt with that in the past? Like, what advice would you give?
Yeah, and I mean, those things happen too, right? Like, I'll still get clumsy and I'm like, "Oh my God." I'm like, "I'm so sorry. Sorry about that." But, yeah, self-doubt, it's hard, right? So it's just, I think being a first year esthetician, you have to keep going. If this is your passion and this is what you absolutely love, and maybe a client is a little difficult and it makes you self-doubt, think
Mhm,
about all the good that trumps that, you got to keep going, keep investing in your education, investing in yourself, keep getting better. If maybe you don't have a lot of clients for starting out, take your friends, take your family, go on social media, offer model pricing and practice on
mhm,
them so you could get better. And even ask them, since you're getting model pricing, ask them, how was everything? What can I improve on? Because that's what it's there for, just to
yeah,
practice and get that feedback to make you better.
mhm.
So I
I
just
love
say
that.
keep going, be patient. Because in the beginning, I wanted to quit so many times, but I kept going and I kept investing in myself. And
Mhm.
you're just going to get better and you're going to get confident, more
Yeah,
confidence
I
in
mean,
that.
a lot of estheticians end up quitting, right? Like, what helped you keep going?
So what helped me keep going, I would say the support of family and friends was big.
Mhm,
Being a young esthetician for starting out, I did have my daughter young. So that was difficult, like raising a child by myself, but having the help of family and friends really kept me going. And I was like, I went to school, I did the work.
mhm,
This is my career. And maybe there was a couple times I had to supplement income, maybe doing a different job. And that's okay. But as long as you're in it and you don't have that self-doubt and you keep investing in yourself, and there's free education out there, and you just keep
mhm,
getting better, doing positive affirmations, I think really helps too. Journaling really helps. But it's difficult, I get it. Like the world is
mhm.
is expensive now, and I get it's discouraging for starting out and you don't have clients, but you gotta keep with it. You gotta keep
Yeah.
that momentum up. And if you need to supplement with something else, that's okay.
Okay, so, like, what are some small but impactful touches that can transform an ordinary facial into a luxury experience?
Okay. Oh man, there's so many little things you can do. It starts with the ambiance of your space, how you welcome your clients, starts from them first coming in your door, from the moment they come in to the moment they leave. You want to be very attentive to their needs. Ambiance such as soothing lighting. We have a sound machine going with ocean waves, the nice spa music, comfy bed, comfy sheets, bed warmer, and doing extra touches going above and beyond. Like I said, that a foot bath is inexpensive. And that's a really
Mhm,
nice touch most people don't expect when they're getting a facial. A little bit of Epsom salt bath in the foot bath, offering different beverages, really caring for them. Um, Go slow and intentional in every movement. Just think,
mhm,
slow down in your movements, even adding, you already have facial brushes, right? Get a fluffy
mhm.
facial brush, a couple of them, put the mask in the warmer so it's not as shocking to them on their skin when you apply it. Apply it very nice. Do a double brush technique. Almost create a
Mhm.
massage with the mask brushes. That those simple little steps of going above and beyond are really gonna they're really gonna remember that and want to come back
Yeah.
to you.
Yeah, like yesterday in my facial, she spent a long time cleansing, like with different cleansers, but I was like,
Yeah.
this is nice. Like, I think that what you said, like slowing down is just very
Yeah.
important. That in itself, I think with my mindset, I'm the type of person where I'm like, oh, I need to give more in the sense of like doing more. But I
And like
think that
almost like
giving
rushing so
more
you could get a bunch in.
to get like a bunch and a bunch of
Yeah.
different like I wanna do everything in the facial, but I actually think like what you're saying is even better, like just being present and going
Yeah.
slow with
Yeah.
everything that you're doing. Like they can wash their face at home, but like the way that you're washing it is gonna feel so good for them, right? They're like,
Oh
"Oh, I
yeah.
want her to wash my face every day," right? So
Yes,
I
and
love that you
a lot
said
of
that.
clients say that too, like, "Can I take you home with me so you could just cleanse my skin?" And that's great, you know, creating that very relaxing experience, like doing a relaxing cleanse or a relaxing double cleanse. And even like my new
Mhm.
jam lately is taking like the cryo globes, putting them in the warmer, and then after I'm done with my second cleanse, I'll still have the cleanser on, but then I'll do like a really nice little relaxing little facial massage with those, but they're warm. And then I got the steam
Oh.
going. So, you know, just like thinking of little extra things
Yeah,
like
I
that.
love that. I mean, so there's some estheticians that would like probably, maybe add a massage as an add-on or like certain things as an add-on. Is that something that you do or believe in? Because lately I'm kind of like, I feel like it should be a part of just the whole experience. So what's like your opinion on that, just out of curiosity?
My personal opinion is I think it should be included. Um,
Mm-hmm.
if it's something along the lines of more of an advanced massage, like lymphatic drainage or buccal massage, then yeah,
Mm-hmm.
because that takes time and it costs a little bit more money, like as an add-on. But your regular basic facial massage, I think, should be included as well as high frequency. I think I've seen some SDs say they charge extra for that, but I think it should be
Okay.
included in that and take a look at how much your products cost, you know, what's your demographic,
Mm-hmm.
what's everyone else charging in the area and try to be competitive with that, you know. So, but
Mm-hmm.
I definitely think it should be included in it.
And what tools are like your favorite tools to use that elevate the experience?
Okay, so I love these little mushroom globes. Have you seen those?
Yes, I haven't used them yet, but I
Oh,
I actually just bought them.
they're my favorite. So you can use them either like in a little skin fridge. You could use them cold or you could use them warm.
Mhm.
Like my kind of signature, what I do at the end of my facial is I'll take them and I will do an ending little massage with the mushroom globes. And think about like maybe your client came in, this goes back to really listening to your client. Maybe they came in and they're stressed or they have a headache. Make the
Mhm.
heat feels so good for the headache. Do an extra little scalp massage. Take those jade combs, just maybe do a hot oil massage, scalp massage. So I love the mushroom globes. I love the cryo globes. I love a hot cold hammer. That's really nice. So
Mhm.
the hot cold with LED is awesome because it's a nice contrast, but it really helps to increase the circulation, gives you that nice dewy rosy glow.
What is the
Um,
hot cool hammer? What is that? Is that like, is that a tool?
yeah,
Well,
it's a
yeah,
little hammer.
obviously, but like
Yeah,
yeah, can you explain it?
yeah. So the hot cold hammer, it has a setting with heat, red
Mhm.
LED, and then you switch it to cold and blue LED. So it'll help anti-aging, fine lines, reduce inflammation. The heat will, depending on what you do, I'll either do it with a mask or I'll do it with
Uh-huh.
ending serums and stuff. So it'll help deeper penetrate the product. It feels amazing. And switching from hot to cold increases the circulation. There's even a little, on the end of it, there's a smaller little feature where it vibrates and it also you can do it under the eye, like put an eye cream on. Also little like little gua sha rose quartz things, you know, you could do that under the eyes to create like a nice little ending experience with the eye cream.
Mhm.
Microcurrent, I really enjoy microcurrents. I have an oxygen machine that's really nice at the end of the facial. Those are some of my favorite tools. Also, Cecily Braden's, I don't know, you probably know Cecily Braden. She has lymphatic drainage, lymphatic brush. That's such a beautiful brush. We
Oh,
retail it. It is so awesome and it's so soothing. Like, so
I've
those
been
are,
wanting to get that brush.
yes, it is
It
so
looks
nice.
so, like, thick and, like, soft.
Yes, it's such
It
a
looks amazing.
well-made brush. It's so
Mhm,
nice. So I'll throw that in. I'll do a little manual lymphatic drainage, and then I'll end it with the brush. So I would
mhm.
say those are probably my go-to tools in the treatment room right now.
I know, like, you teach facial massage, correct? Right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yes, and I want to get, any SDs new or even seasoned just to teach you some advanced moves if you're feeling stagnant.
Mhm. Yeah, because I feel like, let's say all these tools like, let's say you have a client and all I don't know, for some reason, all your tools are not there. I think the greatest tool that you can have as an esthetician is your hand.
Your
I almost feel
hands,
like
yes,
that's what our focus a huge part of esthetician school should focus on face massage. Unfortunately,
yes,
like, in my school, we didn't learn like, we just learned the basics
yeah.
from watching just, like, one video, but, like, can you talk a little bit more about face massage? I know you mentioned buccal and, lymphatic drainage. So, like, how has that helped you become a better esthetician?
Yeah, so the one service that is really standing out right now for me and my clients is buccal massage. When it first came out and I first started hearing about it, I was kind of like, is that kind of weird? Like it's in the mouth, what's going
Mhm,
on? And the more I seen it and the more I researched it, I was like, okay, I'm
mhm,
very intrigued. So I did a class, I did a certification class on it, and I did training with my esthetician at Luna. And when we looked at the before and afters from our models, we were blown away. Like it's insane. It's almost like a facelift after 15 minutes of buccal
mhm,
massage. It is so crazy. And I tell people I tailor it and I try to be like, hey, if you even have a wedding or an event to go to, come in, get this massage. This massage only, you will be lifted. It lifts the tissues. It
yeah.
creates like a really nice jawline. It plumps the lips. It lifts everything. It is amazing. It is
Yeah,
my
it makes
favorite
you
thing
look
ever.
refreshed. Yeah, I love
Yes.
it.
Yes, it really
Okay,
does.
alrighty, I'm looking at my questions. Okay. So obviously, like when it comes to elevating the facial experience, that also should come with, I mean, I believe elevating your prices. What advice would you give to estheticians who are afraid to charge premium prices?
So I would say they definitely have to look at the value of their expertise. Like, do you just want to raise them just to raise them because you want to make more money? You can't do that.
Mm-hmm.
You have to look, what is the value that you're bringing? And are you continuously investing in your education, investing in yourself, doing everything you can do, like bringing new products in, bringing different things in to elevate the experience for your clients? Then you can raise your prices, but I don't
Mm-hmm.
think you should do it like a high jump. I think you should do a gradual increase. And your clients who want to stay with you will stay with you because they value everything that you're bringing to the table to help them have a better experience. And the ones who leave and who are difficult and who, crab about your price increase, that's okay
Mm-hmm.
because that just opens the door for somebody who's going to really value, what you give them.
Mm-hmm. I
And I
agree.
know it could be intimidating, right? It could be intimidating doing that. Like when we do it, we do a gradual increase and we don't say
Mm-hmm.
anything. If they say something, we just say exactly what I said, well, we are continuously, educating ourselves, bringing you new product, new things to elevate your experience, or sometimes even skincare companies will raise their prices and you have to do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I know it
Yeah.
could be
With the
scary,
times.
but
Yeah, with everything like the economy always changing too, like
yes,
that always has to be taken into account as well. But I think
yeah,
that it's important to um, feel like what you're bringing to the table matches like your price. Like I think that you should
Yeah,
generally it should align with how you feel. So it's either you
absolutely.
start to feel like you're good enough, like that could be also
Yeah,
something that you work on more of to match the price, right? Or like the other way around, right? So I think that that's very I like your
yeah.
advice. Very
Yeah, and it's
important.
like, look at your numbers. Look at how many services you're bringing in. Are you getting so booked that you maybe have to add another day? Are you in high demand? And if you're in high
Mhm.
demand and you're doing these things to constantly continue your growth and education, then absolutely you have every right to raise your prices within
Mhm.
reason. Within reason. Yeah.
Yeah. What would you say to estheticians who maybe feel like their facials right now, like they don't feel like their facials are good enough?
I'm telling you, girlfriend, they're probably really good enough. You're just getting in your own head. Um,
Uh-huh.
again, just go slow and intentional. Um, use free resources. You know, there's low cost items on Amazon where you can, like the tools we talked about, little touches to
Mhm.
add here and there, like the little mushroom globes, and everything like that, you know, but you're probably really good. Just get out of your head. Get out of your
Mhm.
head and keep investing in yourself, doing free education, reading magazines like L&E, and doing trade shows and constantly making yourself better.
Yeah. And what's like I mean, I know you deliver an amazing, incredible experience from the moment they come into the room. What are some tips you can give like when they leave, and that constant
Yeah.
contact that you have with them outside the treatment room? What are some things that you do that you recommend?
So at the end of our treatment, we do leave out a basket with just small little easy essentials that really makes it memorable, such as a hairbrush, mints, hair ties, dry shampoo, spray deodorant. Because you know, with with my facials, at least I get in there. I'm really getting in there with massage. I'll mess up their hair a little bit. I don't mean to, but I
Mhm.
feel like if you didn't get a good facial, you got to have your hair messed up a little bit, you know? So
Yeah.
leaving those extra touches to make them feel a little bit more refreshed if they have to go to the store, wherever they need to go to, is a small little touch where they're going to really remember. I
Mhm.
think, you know, walking them to the desk, saying your proper goodbye, thanking them, handing out referral cards, really going over home care, and even maybe sending them a handwritten thank you note in the next week or so just to see how their skin reacted. How was everything?
Mhm.
Hey, I'm thinking of you. Wanted to drop this note. Maybe even offering a little sample in there. And I feel like that is more heartfelt instead of just letting it go or maybe sending a text or something like that.
Yeah. I love how you say heartfelt because as you were speaking, I was thinking like it kind of does need to come for sure from a real place of love and wanting
Yeah.
them to have like a genuinely good experience. Because sometimes I think, I mean, if you make it too much about yourself and your business and being successful, then it's just
Yeah.
very robotic. And that's when you start to forget those little details. But I think that
Yeah.
a lot of estheticians, like, it's in our nature already to be very, like, caring and
Yes.
pampering to others, so it's just,
Yes.
like, just tap into that, and it'll come natural. Because what you're saying to me, like, the little basket and stuff like that, I'm sure that came from you actually genuinely being, "Oh, I want them to have this," right? It's, like, something that's,
Yeah.
like, you're giving from your heart. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Mhm.
Absolutely. Yes, we are
I
lovers, we're givers, we care for everybody. We want to help them feel their best and look their best.
Mhm. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's kinda like what we want. Like,
Yeah.
what would
Yes.
you want to feel incredible and amazing? Yeah.
Exactly. Like when you go into a place, you want to receive the best care, right? Like so you have
Mhm.
to portray that to your clients too, you know?
I love that. I think that when I go home today, I'm gonna, like, really sit and journal, like, "Okay, if I was going to, like, the best spa ever, what would I want my experience to be like?" And I think if other estheticians do that exercise, then it can help them kind of curate and elevate their experiences already.
Oh, absolutely. I think that is a beautiful
Yeah.
idea for sure. And
Mhm,
even with like people who are solo, like you just starting out, or you know, for
mhm.
us, we have a two-room spa, but we're rocking it, you know? So it's like
Yeah.
I only have a two-room spa. I don't have a relaxation room. So I'm always thinking, how can I elevate it? What can I do to make it
Mhm.
better? I'm constantly thinking that, like, what new thing can I bring that's even low, cost effective? So you got to think of
Mhm.
things that way, like what type of space you have. You could do things where like a little waterfall table thing. We have that we put
Mhm.
on the counter. If you don't have space for something like a beautiful waterfall, you could do something like that. So
Mhm.
just like thinking outside the box.
Yeah. Okay. So, if you can leave estheticians with one piece of advice on how to stand out in the industry, what would it be?
I would say just constantly just focus on your technique, really focus on that. And I think that's going to help you evolve into something great. Invest in your
Mhm.
education. There's so many free resources. If you could afford, a facial class, a facial massage class, that would be awesome. Just continue to be confident. I know there's going to be days where you're going to feel bad or maybe you made a mistake. And that's okay. You can have a pity party for yourself for a minute, but then if this is truly your passion, then, learn from that mistake because that mistake is going to make you way better because you're going to learn from it and you're going to grow from it.
Mhm.
Just be patient. If you're starting out, it's going to come. You guys have the power of social media to really talk to your clients, tell them what makes you unique, but you just got to stick with it, be patient, and you guys are going to be good.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Jill.
You're
And so, where can our
welcome.
listeners find you?
So you guys can find me at Jill_Luna Beauty Studio on Instagram. I am in the very beginning works of doing an online facial class, and I think I may be
Ooh.
collaborating with someone too. So that's the beginning
Mhm.
stages. So stay tuned. I'm really excited about that. So I'm
I love
excited to
it.
help you guys out and give you all my expertise and little hidden gems.
Yes. And where is your spa located? I forgot to ask you that.
It's located in Dyer, Indiana. So we're in Northwest Indiana. We're actually right on the border of Illinois and Indiana. So we're really close to Chicago.
Okay, cool. And so is it lunabeautystudio.com?
It's
Do you have a
Luna's,
website?
yeah, we have a website. It's lunabeautystudio@yahoo.com. And we just redid our
Yeah.
website. It's so beautiful. So
Oh,
excited.
okay. I'll make sure to put it in the show notes so
Yeah, thank
everyone can
you.
visit. Yeah, of
Awesome.
course. Alrighty. Well, thank you so much. This was a
You're so
pleasure
welcome.
having you on. You gave me a lot of ideas, so I'm certain that you gave so many estheticians some really good, valuable advice and
I
ideas. So
hope
thank you
so. I hope so. I'm so
for
excited to
sure.
be on here. I hope I helped my little SD besties, and I'm very grateful. So thank you.
Thank you. Alrighty, Estes. I'll put
All
all
right.
of Jill's information in the show notes. And yeah, thank you guys. Bye.
Thanks. Bye.